Miss LaDonna. So I wanted to show you how you would be able to access the lesson plans that Miss Brianna um, draws up for you for this year. So I sent you a email with the invite to Asana. It is from ASANA, Asana. You can search it in your email. If you need me to resend the invite, let me know. But you do need to go through the email to set up your username and password first. Okay? But after you set up your username and password, you will be able to come to asana.com. And once you get to Asana, your board will look something like this. Of course, you won't have as many, okay? You would come down to your project, which is arts and crafts. And once you get to arts and crafts, you have 4 columns, okay? This will show you the school policy, which has your mentoring training guide from Mr. Foster, as well as the instructions for Ms. Brianna. And then once I get the application from Mr. Foster, that would go right here, and as well as the procedures of how we would handle them. However, we're doing the same thing as we did before. You would just give them the application to the parents, have them to fill it out, and then I'll show you in here where to put it, okay? Once Miss Brianna has the lessons together, they'll show up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it will show up. So we're going to say this one is completed. So it will show up right here. She would tag you on the lesson. Once she tags you on the lesson, it'll actually notify you, okay? So that's how it'll show up once she's completed it. And it'll also show you the day that that lesson needs to be handled. I'm gonna go ahead and move this back over. All right. But that's how it would show up. So once you have your lessons, once she has your lessons in there and ready, they'll show up right here for you. You'll be able to go in and see what's needed for the lesson plan. So it'll show up right here what the lesson plan is. And if there's any attachments, they'll show up right here. So I'll put an attachment there so you'll see what it looks like once the attachment is there. All right. So say that's the lesson plan. It'll show up just like that for you. Okay. So I'm going to remove that, but that's how it would show up for you once she attaches it, and it'll be in the completed lessons part. If you have any questions and you want to ask her about the lesson, you would just go ahead and put the @ and then type in Brianna Merchant, and she'll pop up, and then you can ask her any questions that you may have about the lesson, okay? And you can hit comment, and it'll definitely show her right there, so she can answer any of your questions. If you have any questions for me, you can ask any of your questions right here. You can put the question in here, and then you can assign it to me, and you can put a date that you need me to answer it by. I'm sorry, and put a current date. Okay, so you can put a date that you need me to answer it by. If you need me to answer it on that day by a certain time, then go ahead and put that in there as well, okay? That way I'll know exactly what I need to get over to you. And if you have any more details about the question, you can come in here and put a description as well. And it will show up in my task so that I know that you're asking that question. So if you want to ask me any questions, you can ask them right here. I ask that so that we can build our procedures up, and we'll know exactly what we need to handle and address next time, okay? But if you have any questions for Miss Brianna about the lessons, then you would just come here to the comments. You would type in her name. Sorry. And once you type in her name, you can address whatever the issue is. Like, is this lesson ready to go? That's something that you can put in there and then hit comment, and it'll add it up there for her. Okay. So that's one way to work this board for you, Miss LaDonna. This is just once she puts in the lessons, she'll assign it to you. It'll show up, and that way you'll be able to get it beforehand. Um, and that way, when we start our classes, you'll be able to find everything. Okay. Once I get the Zoom link for the class, I will be attaching it to your lessons so that way you don't have to necessarily exit this place to find that meeting ID. Okay. So I thank you all. I thank you for joining, but 1 second. Oh, let me show you really quickly, Miss LaDonna. Sorry, before I forget. Um, you can look at it in list if that's easier for you. Okay. You can change the view. These are what these little tabs are for, just so you'll know. You can change the view up here to list, and it still shows you what's upcoming and what needs to be done. Okay. Um, it still has your policies, the question and answers, and the completed lessons. You can look at it in timeline view. So if you want to look at it as we put the lessons in here, it'll schedule all of them out for you. So if you want to come here and kind of look at what needs to happen over a certain time period, the timeline view will be good for you. You also have a calendar view if you want to make it a little bit simpler for you and put in, when you'll be here and when you won't. That'll also help Miss Brianna as she does her lessons. Um, the dashboard is not something that you'll really need, but if you ever want to look at it, it will just show you who's assigned and how many tasks they have, how many tasks is altogether is in the project, and how many have been completed and are not completed. Okay, the progress you will not need. This is more for me and Mr. Foster, but we will be updating this as we complete the board. It will stay on track and have the milestones for this school year laid out for you all. Okay, you also don't need the forms, but if you ever want to create a form to help you all with your projects or your lessons, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay, this is conversations. Conversations shows the emails that we send out to you all. As you can see, I sent out Miss Brianna a training as well. I'll be sending yours through this platform. It just allows everyone to see the information at once, and we don't have to keep um, looking for emails or going through our emails. If you ever want to email a task to yourself here, you would use this email right here. It's arts-crafts@mail.asana.com. As soon as you email something to that email address, it will show up on your board, and you can go in and work that task however you need to work it. Okay. Um, and then you have files right here. So as Miss Brianna does her lessons and we add more things to the project, all the files will be in one place if you need to find them a lot easier than just going through the boards. You can come here. You can also use the search bar up here. Okay. But once again, what you'll really be doing here is looking for your name. So once Miss Brianna completes a lesson, she should assign it to you just like this. As I have instructed her, if it is for you, then she is to assign it to you. It will look like this right here. And then you would just come in and be able to look at what the lesson is, grab the lesson plan, and also you'll be able to join the meeting from this location. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how that would work. Okay, but once again, welcome back to Skills and Faith, and for another year. And thank you for taking out the time to work with the kids. We appreciate all your hard work and your hard effort. So as Miss Brianna puts the lessons in for you, you'll be able to see them there. And I hope you have a great weekend and you enjoy yourself. Okay. Bye.